Yep, today we are going to look at all of these prepositions of place. Some prepositions you need every day, like in, on, and at. Other prepositions like opposite and among are less common, but also important. In today's lesson, I'm going to teach you about all of these, and I'll answer some common questions students have about these prepositions. At the end of this lesson, I have a test for you with 21 questions. You know, practice makes perfect, so be sure to take this test, and can you please leave me your score in the comments below? I really do love hearing from you. Did you get 21 correct out of 21? Or maybe 15 correct out of 21? Let me know. My name's Arnel. Let's start. This might help you. The word preposition has the word position in it. So it's clear that prepositions give us the location, the position of something. Let's start with the basics. A cup. A cup is on the table. A cup is on the table. What is in the cup? Coffee is in the cup. Coffee is in the cup. My cup is next to my book. My cup is next to my book. More formally, you can say beside. My coffee is beside my book. My book is beside my coffee. Same thing, beside is just a little bit more formal. So next to and beside mean touching or almost touching. But what if I don't want this? I want this. What if I want this? The table is near the window. The table is near the window. You can also say near to, but that's just not as common. Let's compare again. The ATM is next to the drugstore. I can also say the ATM is beside the drugstore. The ATM is near the drugstore. So many times it's important that we're specific. Next to, beside, near. But when we're speaking, sometimes these prepositions here can be used interchangeably in the same way. Like, look at this picture. I can say, my hotel is next to the beach, beside the beach, near the beach, by the beach. I mean, in this situation here, it really depends what the person is trying to emphasize. And you can see I've added by. By. By can also be used to mean next to, beside. Like, baskets are by the door. Sometimes it can also mean near. Public toilets are by the information center. But usually by emphasizes a very short distance. Okay, I've given you quite a few examples so far. There's one little grammar note I need to mention now. A preposition is always followed by an object. This object can be a noun or a pronoun. So far, we've done this. My cup is on the table, on the table. Our hotel is next to the beach. Let's get back to this house. The book is between the coffee and the shopping bag. Between means in the middle. The book is between the coffee cup and the shopping bag. The picture frame. The picture frame is between the two plants. Between the two plants. So you can see I went shopping. I went food shopping. I bought fruit, vegetables, bread, candy, milk, and eggs. There are a lot of things in this bag. A bottle of nail polish is among the food. A bottle of nail polish is among the food. Among can mean two things. First, it can mean surrounded by, surrounded by. It can also mean in a group. Let's do some examples. The yellow umbrella is among the black umbrellas. Among the black umbrellas. You can see the yellow umbrella is surrounded by the black umbrellas. Our family cabin is among the trees. Oh, it's so pleasant. Our family cabin is among the trees. Do you know the famous book series, Where's Waldo? I think you might know these books. You need to find Waldo, the character, among all the other people, all the other things that are distractions. Among can also mean in a group. I am the tallest among my friends. This means I am the tallest in this group. Rachel is popular among her colleagues. She's popular in this group. Maybe you know the popular video game Among Us. Among Us. Well, in a group, one character is a bad guy, but you don't know who it is. So, there's a bad guy among us. I mean, I've never played the game, but that's what people tell me. Amongst the preposition is the same thing. You can use amongst. It's just less common. There is a shelf behind the table. There is a shelf behind the table. There's a wall behind me. There's a wall behind me. The stool. The stool is in front of the table. The stool is in front of the table. Can you please not stand in front of me? Now we see two shelves. Two shelves. There is one shelf opposite the other shelf. There is one shelf opposite the other shelf. What's the difference in front of and opposite? Well, let's take a look. Opposite. Opposite means two things are facing each other, like in the picture. In front of means one and then the other. A man with a red cap. A man with a red cap was opposite me. A man with a red cap was in front of me. Can you see the difference here? The fruit stall is opposite the vegetable stall. The fruit stall is opposite the vegetable stall. Can you please not park in front of my door? Can you please not park in front of my door? You are blocking my entrance. Jenny's office is opposite my office. Jenny's office is opposite my office. Instead of opposite, you can also say across from. Across from. Many times when we use across from, we are thinking of a space in the middle, something clear in the middle. I think I need to give you some more examples. I have a street, I have a table, I have a river. Bus stop A is opposite bus stop B. Bus stop A is across from bus stop B. Bus stop A is across the street from bus stop B. You can see in this example, I am mentioning the street. The two interviewers were opposite me. The two interviewers were across from me. The two interviewers were across the table from me. In this example, I am mentioning the table. The bear is opposite the deer. The bear is across from the deer. The bear is across the river from the deer. So there are many ways you can say the same thing, but if you want to emphasize the thing in the middle, use something is across thing from other thing. Okay, I want to remove everything except the table. Over the table, under the table, above the table, below the table. You can see over and above mean higher than the table. Under and below mean lower than the table. So what's the difference between these prepositions here? Let's take a look. Many times, over and above can be used interchangeably. I put a dream catcher over my bed. I put a dream catcher above my bed. In this example here, they mean the same thing. But sometimes there is a difference. When we use over, something can be touching and covering. Touching and covering. Help me put this tarp. Help me put this tarp over the boat so it doesn't get wet. The tarp is touching the boat. It's covering the boat. Your mask has to be over your nose and mouth. It has to cover it, and many times it is touching it. In these two examples, above would not be appropriate. When we use above, we're clearly thinking of different levels. One level and something else above it. Think about an apartment building. In an apartment building, there are very clear levels. A nice family lives above me. A nice family lives above me. North America is above the equator. Above the equator. We can apply this concept to under and below. With under, again, something can be covered, something is covered, and probably touching something else. The boat is under the tarp. The boat is under the tarp. They're touching. Which hand do you think the coin is under? Is the coin under my right hand? Or is the coin under my left hand? The coin is covered and it's touching my hand. Below. Again, below usually has to do with different levels. I can say, a nice family lives below me. A nice family lives below me. Chile is below the equator. Chile is below the equator. Now imagine you're on a plane. There is nothing below us. There is nothing below us except for the ocean. You can see there's a pretty clear space. Nothing is being covered, nothing is touching. Let's bring the house back. Inside the house, it is nice and cool. Outside the house, it is hot. Oh my God. My neighbor is outside my window. I don't want to let her inside the house. What's the difference? What's the difference between inside and in? Well, again, many times inside and in can be used in the same way. For example, look in the fridge. Look inside the fridge. Here, these two sentences are exactly the same. There is no difference. But many times, inside emphasizes something is in a closed space. It is completely surrounded. If something is in a closed space, this means something can open. Let's do a few examples. A gift is inside the box. You can open a box. A nut is inside a shell. You can open a shell. Inside an atom, there are neutrons, protons, and electrons. Yes, I had to Google that. Don't judge me. With the preposition in, there isn't always something you can open. For example, I have candy stuck in my tooth. I have candy stuck in my tooth. Here, only in works. You can't really open a tooth. Whew, okay, I know there's already been a lot of information so far, but there's one important preposition I'm missing. At. At. And in my opinion, you can't really learn at without comparing it to in. So that's what we need to do. We can say in or at plus location. This means you're inside a building or a place. For example, I'm in the restaurant. I'm at the restaurant. Same thing. I can't talk now. I'm in the library. I'm at the library. Here, these two prepositions can be used interchangeably. But many times with locations, you are not inside a building. This is when at is necessary. At plus location, but you are not inside a building or a place. I'll meet you at the train station, and then we can walk to the restaurant together. At the train station, I won't be inside the train station. I'll meet you by the front door, and then we can walk to a restaurant together. We are at the park. This is our location, but we're clearly not inside a building. We're at the park. I spend most weekends at the beach. You know, you can't really be inside a beach, so you are at the beach. We can say Jacob is at the beach, but his head is in the sand, but he's still at the beach. I'm at my desk about 12 hours a day. This is my location, at my desk. Okay, I want to compare in and at again. The next two things I'm comparing, it's more about nuance. This isn't a hard grammar rule. In, this specifically emphasizes location. At, this can also be location, but the emphasis is on someone doing something. They are busy. They are working. There is some sort of task or activity. For example, where's Margot? Oh, she's in the meeting room. I'm interested in her location. Oh, she's in the meeting room. Where's Margot? She's at her lawyer's office. She's at her lawyer's office. When we use at, there's a feeling that something is being done. Ooh, I hope Margot's okay. Let's compare again. It's raining outside, so I'm waiting in the post office. I'm waiting for the rain to pass. This is just my location. I'm at the post office. I'm trying to send my passport to the embassy. Again, I'm at the post office. I'm doing something. So with this difference here, once again, it's a nuance. It's a feeling. It is not a strict grammatical rule, but I want you to listen out for it when you're watching something, when you're reading something, see if you can put at or in into one of these four parts. Okay, wonderful. I have good news and bad news. The good news is these are all the prepositions we have looked at, and we're not going to add any new prepositions. The bad news is prepositions can be used in so many different ways in English. So let's keep going. I want to go through a list of exceptions. So we've done in, at for location, but let's look at some specific differences. I want you to memorize these. There really isn't a rule. First, we always say at home. I'm at home. He's at home. We never say in home. We can say in the house, but not in home. In school means in the education system. All children must remain in school until they are 18. My son is only 3, so he's not in school. At school means currently in the school building. It's 1 p.m. My kids are still at school. In the hospital, at the hospital. Usually there's a difference. In the hospital means you are a patient. Zara is in the hospital. I hope she's okay. My grandma has been in the hospital for weeks. At the hospital, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a patient. You're doing something there. Remember earlier I mentioned at often emphasizes that there's some sort of activity happening. We are at the hospital visiting Bob. The whole family's at the hospital waiting to hear from the doctor. One more I need you to memorize. In bed. In bed means you're either sleeping or you are sitting in bed, lying in bed, and you have the blanket pulled up. The kids are in bed. They're sleeping. I love sitting in bed watching movies and reading books. If you say on the bed, then something is physically on top. I can say the clean towels are on the bed. We have 2 more things to look at before the test. Let's keep going. I have the prepositions pyramid. Maybe you've seen this before. Let's take a look. We have in, on, at. In at the bottom is for big locations. In plus country, city, town, village, neighborhood. I was born in the USA, but now I live in England. I live in a city called Bristol. One of my good friends lives in a famous neighborhood in New York. She lives in the Bronx. On streets, roads, highways. Samuel lives on Baker Street. Heather's yoga studio is on Wilmington Road. We are driving to California. We just have to stay on Route 66 the entire way. And Route 66 is a famous highway in the US. At plus address. Samuel lives on Baker Street, but he lives at 32 Baker Street. You can see with the specific address, you have to change the preposition. Complete these sentences with your own examples. I live in country. I live in city, town, village. I live on plus street name. I live at plus address. Last but not least, transportation. We use on with these forms of transportation and in for these forms of transportation. Here's a little trick. We use on when you can move around, like on a bus, on a train, on a plane. There's always a big platform, right? So you can walk on it. You're on a bus. You can walk on a bus. You're on a train. You can walk on a train. And of course, you could be literally on something, like you're on a bicycle or you're on a horse. Then you need to use on. Within, you can't move around. Like when you're in a car, you can't walk in a car. You can't walk in a limousine. You're really in. So think about on, you can move. In, you can't move. But maybe you've noticed this. You can say on a boat or in a boat. When you're on, it's a big boat, like a ship, because again, you can move around. But if you're in a rowboat or if you're in a canoe, you definitely can't move around then. Test time. I have 21 sentences. Can you please choose the correct preposition for each sentence? There is only one answer possible per sentence. Remember the rules, remember the exceptions as well. Pause the video to do this. And here are the answers. How did you do? Please let me know your score in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to reading some of your comments. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll see you next time.